Hey there everyone, it is time for another Motorsports Update episode. It's been a while since I've done a Motorsports Update episode. The last one was on October 20th, and I did an IndyCar specific update episode on October 27th, 2020. For this Motorsports Update news segment, I am going to continue from where I left off back on October 20, 2020, leading up all the way till now, February 17, 2021. For this Motorsports Update episode, I'll just be covering NASCAR, NHRA, the Repco Supercars Championship, the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, Super GT, the Dakar Rally, and the Supercross Championship. And with the current format of how I'm doing these Motorsports Update episodes is that I'm letting a replay run of my gameplay from Gran Turismo Sport, and as that replay runs, I'll talk to you about all the news points in the world of motorsports leading up to February 17, 2021. Continue on from where I left off, the 2020 NASCAR Cup Series was in the second race of the round of 8 in the NASCAR playoffs. That race was at Texas Motor Speedway, where Kyle Busch won. Kyle Busch was eliminated from playoff contention in the previous round, so this win did not change the standings of those in playoff contention. The last race in the round of 8 and the penultimate race of the 2020 season was at Martinsville Speedway. Chase Elliott would win and secure his spot in the championship for the finale. After the round of 8 was complete, Chase Elliott and Joey Logano would advance to the championship 4 thanks to their wins, with Brad Keselowski and Denny Hamlin advancing to the championship 4 on their points. The final race at Phoenix Raceway saw the drivers in the championship 4 battle it out in a close race as they took the top 4 spots after race end. It all comes down to who finishes ahead, and Chase Elliott would win the race at Phoenix as well as be crowned the 2020 NASCAR Cup Series champion. Of course, to mention the other champions in the other 2 premier NASCAR series, Sheldon Creed of the GMS team wins the 2020 Gander Outdoors Truck Series. And then Austin Cindric of Team Penske wins the 2020 NASCAR Xfinity Series. After the 3-month break, NASCAR starts its new season for 2021 at the usual track, Daytona International Speedway. A couple of things happened during the off-season. The NASCAR Truck Series would change its title sponsor back to Camping World, titled the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. The team Trackhouse would announce their partnership with music artist Pitbull. Denny Hamlin Racing revealed their car number. That number would be 23, like Michael Jordan's number in the majority of his NBA career. They announced their main sponsor being DoorDash. The 2021 Daytona once again brought exciting packed racing with the 3 Premier Series. In the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, Ben Rhodes of Thor Sport Racing would win the 250-mile race at Daytona. In the NASCAR Xfinity Series, Austin Cindric of Team Penske would win the 300-mile race at Daytona. Lastly, for the Cup Series, Michael McDowell would avoid the last lap crash and survive to get his first career NASCAR Cup Series win and his first Daytona 500 win. The next race for the 3 Premier NASCAR Series is back at Daytona, where they'll race the Daytona Road Course. A piece of news that came after the Daytona events: NFL football player for the New Orleans Saints, Alvin Kamara, became a NASCAR fan over the summer. During the Daytona 500, he expressed interest in owning a NASCAR team. Then it was announced on February 17, 2021, Alvin Cabrera and the sponsor, the Big Squeezy, will be partnering with JD Motorsport with driver Ryan Vargas just for the Daytona Road Course race in the Xfinity Series. The NHRA Camping World Drag Racing Series saw a very shortened 2020 season due to the pandemic. The NHRA Finals were held in Las Vegas, Nevada at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. At the end of the season, the champions were, in Top Fuel, Steve Torrence won the championship, this being his third championship in the Top Fuel class for the NHRA. For the funny car class, Matt Hagan would win the championship, this being his third Funny Car Series championship. In Pro Stock, Erica Enders Stevens earns her fourth championship. Then, in Pro Stock Motorcycle, Matt Smith would also earn his fourth NHRA championship. The first event for the 2021 season is the weekend starting March 11th, 2021 for the Amalie Oil NHRA Gator Nationals in Gainesville, Florida. During the off-season for the Australian-based Supercars Championship, the series sees a new title sponsor, Repco, titled the Repco Supercars Championship. With the reigning champion Scott McLaughlin racing in Indy cars for the 2021 season, we'll definitely see a new battle for the championship this season. The first race of the 2021 season is the weekend of February 26th through the 28th, 2021 at the legendary Mount Panorama Circuit in Bathurst, Australia for the Repco Mount Panorama 500. Finish where I left off in the 2020 IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. The penultimate race of the 2020 IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship was at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca for a 2-hour and 40-minute race. The winners in the classes were, in the DPI class, the Acura Team Penske number 7, driven by Elio Castroneves and Ricky Taylor. In the LMP2 class, it only saw one entry, and that was the PR1 Mathiasen Motorsports team, driven by Patrick Kelly and Simon Trummer. The winners in the GTLM class was the number 912 Porsche GT team, with drivers Earl Bamber and Lawrence Van Thor. Lastly, in the GTD class, the winners were from Meyershank Racing in their Acura NSX, with drivers Mario Farnbarker and Matt McMurray. The final race of the 2020 season took place at the postponed 12 Hours of Sebring. Some of the classes saw close battles for the championship, like the DPI class. After the 12-hour race was won, the DPI class saw Mazda Motorsports scoring their first major endurance race win. This win were by drivers Harry Ticknell, Jonathan Bomarito, and Ryan Hunter-Ray. Despite finishing last in class, it was the number 7 Acura Team Penske DPI, with drivers Elio Castroneves and Ricky Taylor, that would win the 2020 IMSA DPI Championship by 1 point. 265 points versus 264 points over the number 10 Wayne Taylor Racing Cadillac DPI. In the LMP2 class, PR1 Mathiasen Motorsports, with drivers Patrick Kelly, Simon Trummer, and Scott Huffaker won the race, which they have already clinched the championship for the LMP2 class before the final race of the 2020 season. In the GTLM class, the number 911 Porsche GT team featuring drivers Earl Bamber, Frederick Makowicki, and Nick Tandy. For the championship in the GTLM class, that went to the number 3 Corvette Racing team with drivers Antonio Garcia and Jordan Taylor. In the GTD class, the winner in the 12 Hours of Sebrings was Wright Motorsports in their Porsche 911 GT3R, featuring drivers Ryan Hardwick, Jan Halen, and Patrick Long. For the championship in the GTD class, that went to the number 86 Meyer-Shank Racing Acura NSX with drivers Matt McMurray and Mario Farnbacher. They won the championship by 2 points, 286 points to 284 points over the Wright Motorsports team with Ryan Hardwick and Patrick Long. During the off-season, there was a lot of team and driver changes. A notable is Meyer-Shank Racing returning to the DPI class. Meyer-Shank Racing leaves their GTD program, which is great timing as they ended their GTD program as champions. And they have returned to race with the prototypes of the DPI class with Acura power. The Wayne Taylor Racing team switches manufacturers from Cadillac to Acura. Chip Ganassi Racing makes a return after a year hiatus, ending their GTLM Ford program in 2019 to the DPI class with Cadillac as their power supplier. For the 2021 IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, the officials announced that the LMP3 class will be included into the main series. This is done to boost car counts in a race. The first race of the 2021 IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship was at the legendary endurance race, the Rolex 24 Hours at Daytona. The winners in each of the classes were, in the DPI class, Wayne Taylor Racing Acura DPI with drivers Ricky Taylor, Felipe Albuquerque, Alexander Rossi, and Elio Castroneves. In the LMP2 class, it was the number 18 Era Motorsport with drivers Dwight Merriman, Kyle Tilley, Ryan Dial, and Patrick Loop Chatine. In the LMP3 class, the winners were the number 74 Riley Motorsports team, featuring drivers Gar Robinson, Spencer Piggott, Scott Andrews, and Oliver Askew. In the GTLM class, the number 3 Corvette Racing team won, with drivers Antonio Garcia, Jordan Taylor, and Nicky Katzberg. And lastly, in the GTD class, the winners were the number 57 Windward Racing Mercedes, with drivers Russell Ward, Philip Ellis, Indy Donchi, and Mauro Engel. The next race for the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship will be the 12 Hours of Sebring on March 20, 2021. Thanks to this pandemic and the stay-at-home orders, I've gone to watch more motorsports I haven't watched in the past. I started watching the Super GT series and the Super Formula series, which are based in Japan. For this motorsports update, I will cover the Super GT series. Like with all sports around the world, they had to adjust their schedule due to the pandemic. They still kept the same number of races, which was scheduled at 8 races, but they would not go to the international tracks that was originally planned for in Malaysia and Thailand. The schedule had the series stay in Japan between the tracks Twin Ring Motegi, Fuji Speedway, and Suzuka Circuit. The Super GT series has 2 classes, the top tier GT500 class and the GT300 class. To fast forward, after the end of their 8 race season, the 2020 season saw a closely fought battle. In the GT500 class, Team Kunimitsu Honda in their Honda NSX GT500 with drivers Naoki Yamamoto and Tadasuke Makino would win the championship by 2 points over the Team Keeper Toms. The champions in the GT300 class were Kondo Racing Nissan and their Nissan GT-R GT3 car, featuring the drivers Kyoto Fujinami and Joao Paulo de Oliveira. The 2021 edition of the legendary Dakar Rally ran between January 3 to January 15, 2021. For its second year in a row, the Dakar Rally was run in the country of Saudi Arabia. After the 12 legs of the 2021 Dakar Rally, the champions are, in the bikes class, Kevin Benavides of Argentina for the Monster Energy Honda team in the Honda CRF 450 rally bike. The champion in the quads, Manuel Andujar from Argentina from the 7240 team in the Yamaha 700 quad. For the trucks class, the champions were Dmitry Sopnikov, featuring co-driver Ruslan Akhmadiv, and their mechanic Ilgiz Akhmetzianov, all from Russia, from Team Kamaz Master in the Kamaz 43509 truck. In the side-by-side vehicles, the champions were Francisco Lopez Contardo and Juan Pablo Latrache Vinagre, who is the co-driver, both from Chile, from the Team South Racing Can-Am in the Can-Am XRS side-by-side. And finally, in the cars class, Stefan Pederhansel would win another Dakar Rally featuring Eduardo Boulanger, his co-driver, both from France, from the X-Raid Mini JCW team in their Mini John Cooper Works buggy. In the last piece of news for this Motorsports Update episode, I'll be covering Supercross and AMA FIM World Championship. The Supercross series adjusted their schedule for 2021 in accordance with each state's pandemic protocols for safety. The schedule for 2021 features 3 events in one city, which they would switch the layout in between events. For this news on Supercross, I'll just be covering the Premier 450 class. The season started on January 16, 2021, with the first 3 events taking place in Houston, Texas at Energy Stadium. In round 1, Justin Barcia of Team Gas would win. For round 2, Eli Tomac of the Kawasaki Factory team wins round 2. Cooper Reb of the KTM Factory team wins round 3. The next 3 rounds would be in Indianapolis, Indiana, starting with round 4 on January 30th, 2021. Ken Roczen of the Honda Factory team would win round 4. Ken Roczen would go back-to-back and win round 5. And then Ken Roczen again would win 3-for-3 in Indy by winning round 6. And most recently from this update, round 7 would take place in Orlando, Florida on February 13, 2021. Cooper Webb of the KTM Factory team would win the round 7 event in Orlando. So far, after the 7 rounds of the Supercross Championship, Ken Roczen leads the point standings thanks to his 3 consecutive wins in Indy. He currently has 161 points. Cooper Webb is in second, 13 points behind. The next round of Supercross will be once again in Orlando on February 20, 2021. Thank you for watching this Motorsports Update episode. Please give this video a like, subscribe to the Spellgo YouTube channel if you haven't. Just check out more of my Motorsports Update episodes, as well as all my other variety of content. And as always, thank you for watching.